Alright, so hello and welcome to this quick little video. I'm going to talk about my Quest experience so far. This video is in English because I've wanted to reach as much people as possible, so that's why I'm doing an English video. So let's get started. So I've been lucky enough to get the Oculus Quest on launch. You know, I pre-ordered from Oculus.com. I wanted to actually pre-order the device on Amazon, but since I've purchased the Oculus Quest on the Oculus pre-order page without an registered account, I guess my order was kind of like a test account, so that's why I couldn't cancel the pre-order in time I wanted to. But by doing so, the Oculus pre-order page said that it couldn't cancel the pre-order, so I've been stuck with the order from Oculus. But I've been lucky enough to get it on launch. You know, the delivery arrived right on the release date, which is fine. So this video is going to be a quick video about how what my opinion is on the Oculus Quest and the issues I've been having with it. So let's get started. Alright, so I've had the Oculus Quest for a few days now, you know, since it launched, and I've been having massive issues with the device. And I've just really wanted to make this video so people can actually maybe say in the comments below if they have the same issues or not. So basically, I have massive issues with my screen, you know, so I've been trying to research a bit, but it seems like a lot of these issues are persistent with a lot of users. Everyone has these issues, it seems like. So anyway, so like I said, I have screen issues. What kind of issues am I having? So I'm experiencing screen tearing, you know. You can compare it to your desktop PC if you're having like a game running on your PC and your refresh rate of the monitor isn't synced up to your game, so the refresh rate isn't, you know, synced up, and that's how the screen tearing comes in. And this is happening on my Oculus Quest. So in a few apps, usually when I'm playing a bit of a, you know, heavy loaded game, the screen doesn't sync up with the game, so I'm having like a screen tearing issue in my headset. And you can imagine how it breaks the immersion of the VR. You know, it's kind of a thing that I hate, and I guess it could be fixed via an update on the Oculus Quest firmware, but I'm not sure. So I'm having like screen tearing. I'm also experiencing graphical artifacts. You know, so here's what's happening. So if I'm moving my head rather quickly, it doesn't have to be quickly, to be honest. I have to just turn my head normally. And usually, I would say like 60% of the time I'm turning my head, I'm getting like this weird kind of like graphical artifacts, you know? There's like screen tearing, of course, too, but there are like weird like vertical white lines and dots appearing on the screen. And it kind of like glitches out, like the graphics aren't really on point. And you can imagine, on top of that, with the VSync issue, like the screen tearing, how immersion breaking that is. You know, I can't really enjoy a game because every now and then it's not really that persistent, but it happens often enough that I'm you know, having issues enjoying the game. So graphical artifacts, you know, that pop up like vertical lines and white dots. I also have like like I said, screen sharing issues, which kind of suck, you know, because I just can't enjoy any games. So it's like a persistent screen issue that I'm having. But that, you know, is something I discovered later. What I initially had, which I still have, is tracking issues. You know, people have been saying the Oculus Quest has amazing tracking, you know. The internal tracking is great as long as it's, you know, inside the vision of the cameras. It works just fine, and it's even more accurate than the Rift, the old Rift tracking, which people are stating a lot online. But I've been been having issues. So when I first, you know, put on my headset, I immediately noticed like the screen tearing and stuff. But that's something I, you know, I looked into later. What I had immediately, like what I saw immediately, was that the tracking wasn't working. You know, my hand was jumping a bit over the place. It was very jittery. I guess like jittery is the correct term, because think about like I'm having my Oculus Quest controllers in my hand, and I'm reaching one hand outwards, and I'm trying to do like a smooth, you know, like circling around motion with my hands, with arm, and normally the tracking would be smooth. You know, you would see the controller in front of my face just, you know, moving from left to right and right to left smoothly without any hiccups. But as you know, as soon as I did that, the controllers started to jump and jitter, which was perfect because I was expecting like better tracking, because I've been having issues with my Rift as well. But the Rift has been, like, the tracking has been resolved since I bought like a new USB card, but for some reason my GPU isn't really working with the Rift. But it's another another topic I don't want to like talk about. So the tracking is shit, basically. You know, I've been having issues. It has been, you know, it has been improved a bit, which I'm going to talk about later. But that's like topic number one is like the tracking of the controllers. But which is really annoying is that the headset itself, like like the 6 degrees of freedom headset movement inside the headset, like when you start to walk in your room, which you're supposed to do with the Quest, is very jittery. You know, I've been moving around and my head is moving around, and the world next to me is jittering. It's moving and it's wonky, it's wanky, and it's like jittering all over the place. And the tracking was just horrible. I couldn't even move a centimeter without having, you know, luckily I'm not motion sick. Like I don't experience motion sickness, but this surely would have been a problem for me, but it's not. But the tracking is horrible, you know. And I was like, all right, what the fuck is going on? Maybe the cameras need to adjust to my room, you know. Since the Oculus Quest is scanning the room all of the time, it's been like a virtual map and reference points to whether the camera can, you know, look forwards to or not, and tries to do like a virtual map and stuff. And I thought, okay, maybe I'll give it a bit of time. So I put it on again, and still nothing better. And then I noticed when I put on the headset again and I was setting up the Guardian, that I was having extremes, like extreme flashes, like flashes of light, shutter effect on the cameras inside the inside-out tracking, which I've been you know, quickly realizing that it is my LED lights. You know, if you have LED lights in your room, which most modern households have, because like normal light bulbs aren't really that efficient anymore, and people, you know, have been starting to change them out for LED lights. LEDs flicker in a very, very fast frequency. You know, that's how LEDs work. They don't burn constantly. They flash so fast that the human eye can't see it. At LED device, like electronic devices, sorry, like cameras, for example, on the Oculus Quest even, these cameras have also refresh rate, pull rates, you know. The cameras on the headset, I believe, have like 60 hertz refresh rate. So every 60 parts of a second, it's not really true, but you know, it kind of like gives a signal to the device, and it's like, okay, this is a picture, this is the next picture. So the refresh rate of the cameras, you know, they do their stuff, and sometimes that refresh rate of the camera, in combination with your LED refresh rate, doesn't work out. So what I'm seeing is constant flickering in my room, which is horrible, you know. So I've been thinking about maybe it's the LED lights, you know, making trouble for the cameras to actually see my environment and scan the environment and make a map out of it, because the frequency of the LEDs, you know, is making trouble. So what I did, I turned off my my lights, and luckily there was enough daylight for my window that, you know, kept going in. But the issue didn't go away, you know. LEDs were off, and still same issue. So I've been really mad. So then, you know, I slept a day and turned the device on next day, and by my surprise, the tracking was way better. You know, the device kind of adjusted to it, but I don't know why, because, you know, day before, horrible tracking, next day tracking is almost fine. So what I did, I changed the tracking frequency in the Oculus Quest to 60 hertz, because normally it's on automatic, so it automatically decides whether it wants to scan the refresh rate with 50 hertz or 60. So I've been getting to 60, and the flicker of the LED lights is then gone. So that may be a reason why, you know, it's fixed, but it didn't, you know, it didn't go away completely. I've been playing around again and having, you know, the same kind of tearing issues and screen effects, artifacts that really, you know, are a pain to look at. And the next day, you know, 3 days have passed, the tracking is even better. So I'm like, what, you know, what the hell's going on? You know, you can't tell me that the tracking is bad and it gets better every day. I mean, sure, the Oculus Quest gets adjusted to your environment, but it shouldn't be that dramatic of a change. I mean, at least it gets better, but now I've been, you know, having the Quest for these days, and the tracking is okay, but it's not accurate, you know. There's always a bit of jitter going on, and sometimes the word is still shaking if I move a bit, but it's been much more enjoyable, but it's still not perfect, and that's why I'm saying that the tracking is not good. The tracking, at least for me, is not working, and I have no clue why. I really don't know. It's been happening, you know, still, and, you know, the tracking has been better, like I said, but it's not completely gone. So it's rather immersion break, like jitters, and it doesn't really work as well as it should. And in combination with the screen tearing and the graphical artifacts, it's just horrible. It's a horror experience, I have to say. The device itself is amazing. If it works, you know, I have like a few seconds where everything is fine. It's just amazing. I can play the games I want to play. I usually play on the Rift, like Robo Recall and Beat Saber. It's great. You don't have a cable, you can move around. The screen is great, you know, the colors pop, it's amazing, the blacks are great. And it's just amazing, you know. But every time I play the Quest and I see these issues, I'm like, hell no, I'm not gonna keep that thing on my face, because I'm suffering. Like, it's just horrible. So another issue I had on launch, which has kind of been, it's gone now, it has been resolved on its own, is the audio. The audio on your Quest is not great. It's Not horrible, but it's not great. So I recommend you use headphones. But it's fine for normal games. But you can imagine if you want to play like Beat Saber. You play Beat Saber and you want to really, go in and swing those arms and listen to the music. It's horrible with the sound. So you're better off for putting on headphones. And what I've been experiencing is that there are a few audio pops. Like sometimes the audio crackles and it pops. But I had like experience on the first day, and so far I can't, say that I've been experiencing that again. I guess the audio is gone now. I have a feeling like the audio straps need to, had to be adjusted for first time use. I have no clue, but the audio is fine now. But I had those issues before. So, as you can see, my Quest is not really perfect, and I still don't know if it's a defective device or if basically every Quest user, or almost everyone, has these issues. Because at first I didn't find any topics on Reddit or YouTube or any comments on any VR forums or even the official Oculus Discord, I guess. There was never anyone who said I have these issues so far. The next few days, however, especially yesterday, I found a bunch of posts on Reddit that people have these exact same issues, mainly graphical artifacts and screen tearing is a huge part of the Oculus Quest launch devices that have been faulty. This is a thing that started to occur to many people. At first there wasn't anyone, noticing. I guess people have been, trying the things out and then posting online. But I've seen a bunch of people have these issues. I'm starting to think that maybe it's not just me. Maybe almost every device on launch, like the first batch that was produced, is faulty in that way. I can't say for sure, but it's been up to a point where Oculus itself, on a Reddit post, stated that they are aware of these issues and they're trying to fix it as soon as possible. Whether that's with an update, which I can't think that's possible, because I think it's a hardware issue. If the screens don't sync up and there's like audio pops and screen tearing, I guess software could be the cause, but I think it's more hardware. So I don't know what they're going to do. They still haven't talked about it. They basically just said we're working on it. That was 2 days ago. So I guess they've been working on it, but I don't know if it's fixed so far. It's kind of weird. But so Oculus has been acknowledging the issues. And that's what's been happening. So I don't know how to continue, to be honest. I looked at Reddit. I saw a bunch of posts. I even have an issue post on my own. I posted on Reddit. I can maybe link in the description below, where I've been actually recording my first tracking impressions, where the tracking was even lost. You know how when the Oculus Quest doesn't find your controllers anymore and believes that you're in a completely different space, although you're in the same space as before, there's like an error message that reads like, Guardian tracking lost, please set up a Guardian again. Because the Oculus Quest is like, the heck is this room? I don't recognize it, but it is the same fucking room. So I was wearing, but it's the same room, So that's been happening for me a few times, and I've been lucky enough to call that on the recording inside the Quest, because you can record in the Quest itself. And it's just annoying. I've had these constant tracking blackouts 2 times. Today I had it, and yesterday, which, as you can imagine, when you're playing a game like Beat Saber and you want to get the high score, imagine in the middle of the game the Oculus Quest loses its tracking. It's just horrible. You can't really play the game that way. And the tracking itself, not judging on the tracking faults I'm experiencing, like the way that the tracking works is great. You have a wide field where the controllers are tracked, and it's just a small area where the Oculus Quest doesn't recognize your controllers. It's right in front of your face. When the cameras, since the cameras are like wide angle, they can't close too much on your face in, so the controllers don't work right in front of your face. And of course, like a little bit behind your body on the sides, there's no tracking on your back, which is logical. It's not working. And the tracking itself is fine. Never had really any issues with the controllers not responding. But there was one time I was playing Beat Saber in single mode. You can play Beat Saber just with one saber. And I was swinging it from left to right, like, really fast. And at one point, the controller was stuck, and it was in front of my face in the middle. And just the sensors inside the controller made the controller move, like, circle around 360 degrees. But there was no positional tracking for the controller. And, like, I guess, like, 3 seconds later, the controller popped back in, and I tracking in. But that was kind of shit, because I lost the map in Beat Saber, but that what's happened. It's almost unnoticeable. I mean, you have to get, you have to understand that it's still like a mobile device, and the tracking is still done with 4 cameras. The Oculus Rift S has better tracking because it has like an extra camera on top, so you can actually reach above your head and the tracking still works. And the tracking is positioned better. The R cameras are better positioned on the Rift S, but the Quest just works fine, But for me, the tracking smoothness is not there. The graphical issues I'm having as well, and the screen sharing, it's just horrible. And every day I'm looking into Reddit, I'm like, okay, is this an issue? Is this not an issue? I am not sure. Some people say yes, some people say no. Just today I've watched a few videos where there was like a German YouTuber also experiencing these issues, and he said that he has 3 Oculus Quests, you know? He had one from Oculus, which was even more faulty than mine. He even had like, I don't know, some weird other issue. So he's going to send that back. And he had 2 quests ordered from a German other website. I guess it was one was from Amazon, or 2 Amazon exactly. So he got his quest, and he had the same issues that I'm experiencing, like screen tearing and artifacts. He had those 2 issues. So he said, okay, this is unacceptable. He gave it back to the retailer. He got another one, and that device, as he's been saying in his video, is working perfectly. This device doesn't have artifacts, this device doesn't have screen tearing, so it seems like, as much as I want to believe that everyone has these issues, a small amount of quests seem to be fine, you know? So I'm thinking, if I'm going to replace my quest, am I lucky enough to have the next quest come in and be functional, to the point where I can use it as much as I want to? I'm not sure, you know? I could have, you know, I could have bad luck again and get a bad quest, and then I'm like, well, what do? Send it back again? I don't know. So, but since, you know, I'm not happy with my purchase, I need to do something. So I actually did contact Oculus on Thursday, a few days ago, and I've sent them, you know, a support ticket, and I said, well, listen, I'm having these issues, like tracking, blah, 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 audio posts, whatever, and I've been linking my Reddit post in the message box so they can actually see what I'm experiencing and even watch the video. So I said, this is my issue, and I said, if it's possible, I'd like to have a replacement as soon as possible. So it's been a few days now. I mean, it's the weekend, you know, people, you know, stop working on Sunday, so I guess the Oculus support has a bunch of issues to deal with. I guess they have a bunch of support tickets going through with the Oculus Quest and the Rift S. I guess a bunch of people have issues, so I guess it, you know, I kind of forgive them that are taking the time, but it's been a bit annoying because I want to know an answer, and I really hope I can get a replacement from them. You know, I hope it's possible. And well, I'll see. I can report back if I have my new quest, but so far I'm stuck with my 41, I guess, and I've been trying it out. It is a great device. Don't think it's not a device. It's like a great device. If you don't have these issues, the Quest is an amazing piece of tech. Granted, the battery is kind of low, you know. I don't know if my battery is maybe 40 as well, because it drains its battery really quickly. Like when you play 20 minutes of Beat Saber, like the battery is on like 70 or 60% already, and I'm like, what the fuck, you know, I didn't really play it that long. And then you're gonna go around the home and you start a bit of Super Hot VR, then you go into, I don't know, VR chat, and it's like 50%, and you know, quickly it comes down to 10 and you need to recharge. Luckily, the Quest recharges, like, for me, maybe roughly an hour, which is fine, you know. I've been thinking about buying like a battery pack, which kind of could help the issue, but yeah, that's all I wanted to tell you guys. So this is basically my Quest experience. I hope it was okay to listen to. And if you have issues as well, post them down in the description, not in the description, in the comments, and let me know, because I've been feeling the need to say this, because, you know, it can't be ignored. So and since I hate writing posts on Reddit, I figure why not talk a bit, so it's better for my documentation style or whatever. All right, so this is basically what I'm experiencing, and I hope it helps you, and maybe it tells you that you are also having these issues, and, you know, let me know in the comments. Alright guys, this is my experience so far, and, you know, like I said, if I have a new quest, hopefully soon with the Oculus support, I'll report back and say how it's going, how it's been for me. But yeah, so far that's it. Thank you for listening to me, and yeah, I'll just say goodbye, and hopefully your quest is fine, you know, so see ya.